Hello race fans, and welcome to the Traxxas short track racing series. This is a different thing for me. All the tracks except for one will be short tracks this season. So special guest commentator today, we got Charles Jackson.
Hey everybody.
Charles, what do you think all these short tracks all in the one season is going to do for these drivers looking for a championship?
Well, it's going to have to test them mentally and how hard they push it, because it's real close racing and you can make a mistake very fast.
Alright. And then we got one super speedway race. All the tracks are under a mile, except for maybe New Hampshire and North Carolina if we decide to race there. But we've got one super speedway race, and that will be at Talladega repaved. What do you think that's going to do for these drivers?
Well, Talladega is pretty wide. That'll probably give them a lot of room and a lot of guys a lot of chances. But one big mistake could cause the big one, and that might jumble up a lot of stuff.
There may only be 21 cars in this series, but do not count any of them out. This is going to be a very fun race. Charles, I'll let you do the command.
Drivers!
Alright, drivers, start your engines.
Yeah! How ironic. Charles Jackson is going to start on the pole. Then Aaron Williams, Zohar, no, that's Zach Johnson, I think, Matthew McMurray, Jake Baskinger, and Connor Breton. See, this track, it's a bit messed up. The pace car does not go off when it is supposed to. It goes off.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
It goes off after the start of the race, which may jumble up the field and cause some issues. Well, this is the start of the Traxxas short track series. Green flag is out, and we are racing.
Oh man, somebody's on the wall back there.
Oh, wrong button. I heard scraping too. We had some cars get into the wall.
Oh man. One. I think that's the 101 right there. In the middle.
Seth Cole is on the apron.
And I don't know. Oh wow, somebody kicked down right there.
There's contact everywhere. This is not a very big racetrack at all.
This is that Seth Cole down there. He's actually getting his spot using the apron.
Chris Dollerton is just getting freight trained.
Yeah, I guess you don't really like that outside line. It could really take you back.
Charles Jackson is your leader, though.
Surprisingly, no wrecks yet. I don't want to jinx these guys too much.
Well, don't count them out. You get side-by-side racing anywhere here, and there's a possibility for an incident.
Kind of cooled it down a little bit right here. I don't see too much going on.
Let's look for a battle somewhere. Doesn't seem to be one. They are single file.
A little bit up in the front. Oh, but here comes second place, whoever that is.
That is Zach Johnson, I think. Zachary Johnson.
Man, he's got a fast car. He's bringing it up right now. He looks like he could get to the back of that 105.
Again, I apologize if I'm saying the completely wrong names. This is the first race of this series, and I gotta go back and check the comments, or the video details.
Charles's car is a little bit better in certain areas.
Yeah, just some areas.
There goes a good battle right there.
You see any battles going on anywhere?
Right there goes one.
Jake Baskinger is trying to pass the 103 of Ricky Hawk.
Get into him a little bit. See a little bit of contact.
Matthew McMurray is going to try to get by Peter Saviano.
I mean, he's going to try to make the inside work right there, but he's going to think twice about it.
Oh, and he does. He makes the
but
move.
Here he comes. He did make it work right there.
Saviano just gives it to him.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty intelligent movement, trying to give a lot here early in the race.
We are already on lap 13 out of 50. Levi Shones and Caitlin Dollarton are nose to tail.
How many laps you said? 50?
There's 50 total laps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this track's kind of small, so you'll see the race go by pretty quick.
Charles Jackson still leads. What is that margin? 7/10 of a second. Let's go back to his helicopter camera to see how big this gap is. It's a fair-sized gap.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count out the second place driver. Yeah, he's actually gained a little bit. He's trying to use that high side to gain a little bit of speed.
You are exactly right, Charles. He gained 1/10 of a second that time around.
Yeah, he'll probably be side by side with him in about a couple laps.
And another 1/10 this time.
Here he comes. He's not giving up anything right now. He's trying to get to him. There he is right there. He's losing it ever so slightly.
This battle for the lead is really closing up.
Yeah, will we see the second place driver make the move on the inside, or will Jack Richards not let him at Charles Jackson inside like that?
He's gaining by... He's not really gaining by much, but he is gaining. Now
Yeah,
it is...
He'll be there sooner or later. It's a long race, but it goes by pretty quickly, but he has some time.
That time he lost a little bit of time on Jackson.
It looks like Jackson's car just grips a little bit better in turns 1 and 2, and he just flies off there.
I think Jackson might be just playing with him. If not, vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, he started on the pole, he had the best car. I mean, he might be just doing that.
They keep getting close and then far and then close and far. I think one of them's playing with the other.
And I'm very surprised at how these guys are keeping the green flag race. You know, too much intense stuff going on.
I'm surprised too. I mean, you expect a short track like this to have a lot of bumping and banging everywhere, but as we approach halfway through this event, 21st place is not very...
Well, here we go. This is a product of short track racing. Once you come up on the lap cars, you're going to have to find a way to move by them, and whoever moves by them the best. Lap cars could be a pick for the second place driver. Get around Jackson.
Well, the time for playing games with Zachary Johnson has ended for Charles Jackson. He's catching up to these lapped cars. He's going to have to make a move and try to get around them as fast as he possibly can. Otherwise, Johnson is just going to be right up on his rear bumper.
If you remember back in the nationwide race at New Hampshire, Angela Copa did something very dirty to Kevin Harvick.
Completely screwed Kevin Harvick over.
Yes,
So,
she did. We're gonna have to see if these lap cars will get the hell out of the way.
yeah, that's one way of putting it. Chris
Well,
Dollarton.
we got a battle coming up in front of the leader, and that is not good for Jackson.
Chris Dollarton trying to pass Ricky
Here
Hawk.
he comes. He is making a move. Second place driver. Jackson is gonna have to try to maneuver
Well, it is less than half a second behind Charles Jackson is this 116 of Zachary Johnson.
Johnson is really gaining on him right here. He sees the opportunity of the lap cars bring him.
Well, Dollar needs to get out of Charles' way.
Still right in front of him, and he's gonna make the move. He's getting close.
I can't tell if these lapped cars are slowing down Jackson or if they're speeding up because they don't want to go a lap down.
I think they're slowing down because they're bringing the third and fourth place drivers into this mix as well. This is not a great thing for Jackson. He needs to get around him very quickly because the place driver can and will get around him. Oh man, he is gaining on him right now.
Well, Johnson got a little bit loose out of turn number 4, lost his momentum and lost about a tenth on the lap, but now he is within 3 car lengths.
Too much kind words for these lap guys right now.
He is within 3 car lengths of your leader, Charles Jackson.
Oh man, looks like these lap cars up here are driving like Angela Cole. Get the hell out. Oh, here he comes. He's right there. Oh man, he is right there. He sniffs the lead right now, and he's gonna try to go on the inside. Oh.
And Charles Jackson is going to get by Chris Dollarton.
Finally. That took a while.
That it did, and this
but
could
it's gonna him now, so Charles is gonna get a bigger lead now.
Oh, there's some contact.
Man, Johnson got smashed right there. A little bit of contact.
I guess Dollarton wasn't happy about the fact that he was holding him up, so got right up next to him and hit him in the door.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a lap car pay him back right here, but I doubt it.
Now will Ricky Hawk hold up Charles Jackson?
We're gonna have to see how many laps we got left.
10 laps to go this time by.
Oh man, if Jackson can get around this guy, then he's set to go for the rest of the way.
Well, look at this margin, a second and a half, just under a second and a half between Charles Jackson and the 116 car, Johnson.
Well, I tell you, Johnson is just not too happy right now that a dollar came down in front of him because he could have gained a lot right there and just got wiped away.
Charles Jackson is right on the rear bumper of Ricky Hawk.
Oh man. Well, here comes that 116. Johnson
It is down to a second.
Chipping away. Oh, he's gonna get into him a little bit, I thought. I don't think Jackson's gonna play too nice with Ricky Hawk. He's probably gonna move him out of the way sooner or later.
Well, Johnson gained 4 tenths, almost half a second on that lap, 2 tenths this time around.
It just depends on where he catches Jackson, right? And he can just ride by and make the move right there. It just depends on where he catches him.
4 laps to go.
Oh man, he's catching him. He's got another chance. It might not be all gone yet.
If the caution comes out, the race will be over. There's Jack Richards, and I don't know this guy's first name. Michael Wood, maybe?
Oh wow, he made the pass inside. That was a nice pass right there.
But 2 laps to go, and there is...
Oh man, he's closing the gap. He's going to have one more time. Oh, he's right there.
Charles almost had the nose there last time around. It's looking like this is how it is gonna stay.
He got one more time. If he can't get to him now, it's all Charles Jackson here.
Charles Jackson wins the race. Here's the rest of the cars going across the finish line. Apologize that I had to be in the helicopter camera for so long. but all the other cameras were going through stuff. Well, what did Ricky Hawk just kind of snaked through there? Oh, and there's trouble! Ricky Hawk spins around. Let's see what happened here.
Looks like he was coming to pit rope, but he just got loose.
Kind of looked like something broke on there. But lucky for Charles Jackson, if something did break, it held up until after the race. Danny Wells also went around. Oh, they were smashing and bashing up here.
He smashed into somebody.
The winner, Charles Jackson, was around.
Wow. He won the race and he wrecks. What the hell?
Well, as I forgot to bring up earlier, there is not a lot of grip here at all.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty old track. It's look like worn out. Just tires at the end of the race couldn't hold up too much for these guys. He just spun by himself.
Well, I guess he decided that short tracking needs a little bit more damage on the race car.
And we had like some more guys spinning back there.
And then there's Ricky Hawk.
There's a Ricky Hawk spinning.
Danny Wells spun out. He was going the complete other way.
Like they were drifting right there.
Kind of reminds me of the World Championship race when everybody was drifting to avoid a wreck and ultimately got collected. Oh!
Oh, yeah, Danny was big time.
Gonna have a great angle of it here. We'll go slow motion. Just gonna ram into the back of Chris Dollars, and he's just causing problems for everybody today.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are not happy with that guy. A tough way to end the day for Danny Wells, wrecking his equipment.
Well, here's your finishing order. First place, Charles Jackson, then Zach Johnson, Joseph Bryant, Connor Brayton, Aaron Williams, Matthew McMurray, Joseph Clark, Peter Saviano, Levi Shones. There's two Skinners. One of them's Max and one of them's Michael. I don't know which one is which yet. I think that's Michael Skinner in 10th. Red Bell, Caitlin Dollarton, Seth Cole, Danny Wells, Jake Baskinger, Trent Dunham, Max Skinner, Jack Richards, Wood, Hawk, and Chris Dollarton.
Not a good day for these guys back here. They just could not get any way to get around too many guys to get up near the front, so they just had to settle.
That's another thing about these short tracks, is that there's not going to be a lot of opportunities every time around to make a good move for position.
The only way to move, the only way to get around people is to knock them around.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, pretty good race here today.
Lots of on-track action. That battle to the finish came right to the end. I didn't know if Hawk was gonna, if Jackson was gonna get mad at Hawk and turn him around, but Jackson kept his temper good and did not get angry. He stayed patient.
Great, pretty great old short track battle we had there.
Alright, thanks for tuning in.